Welcome to our broadcast, YouTube broadcast. That's 8th of November 2023. We are here to delve into this intriguing world of investment opportunities. So particularly we will focus on Rivian Automotive today. So this stock that have gone through the earnings report is the one that everyone, whether it's seasoned investors and newcomers, have get zoom in at. So for those that are very curious of what the outcome of the earnings report was, you probably heard it somewhere in the news as it's right as it was back after the close of the yesterday's market session. But the captivating financial situation raises important questions and considerations for prospective investors. And right now, even though the earnings, the Rivian's earnings have missed the mark, the revenue have exceeded expectations, and we will just discover what's in it for us. So we are just jumping to what's next for Rivian. Let me just check whether everything is fine. So let me know whether audio and video works as it should. Can you hear me well? All right, so we can right now, maybe I will just change my laser pointer, yes, to make it a little bit more visible. All right, so we are just jumping to earnings report, and we can find that there is not really anything that we should grind our teeth about. So the revenue is increasing, so that's positive in relation to what have been seen back in 2021. So there was a non-profitable stock overall, and there were some hopes that eventually this optimism will find a shockwave in profitability. Right now we have the realization of the more positive thrills on the market, and definitely there is something to cheer about eventually. Right now net income is right at the unfortunately negativity, and it means that even though this negative tendency is a little bit slowing down, this latest outcome has led to some questions yet again. So this Rivian stock on Monday shown there is around 52,000 vehicles to produce in 2023. So that's what we expect. That's a target that has been raised in August from 50,000 by a couple of percent, but right now there are some supply chain bottlenecks that are still weighing on the stock, and they're making the income a little bit more difficult to overcome in the short run. So the numbers that we are gonna just point out is this: Rivian surpasses Q3 delivery expectations, up 23%, and with that all that been said, we can find that gross margin, operating margin, and net margin eventually in relation to the history is improving very much. However, those aspects that are worrying many of those value investors is this return on equity asset and investment capital right now are only slightly increasing, with the tendency with ROIC being still in a kind of a negative spiral. So for those that are kind of a more conservative investors, the Rivian may still not pose such of a possibility, and that's also what we can say is that shares outstanding diluted is still something that we may worry about, and that may jump out of thin air even in the next coming months. So Rivian right now Rivian's cars are staying away from cutting prices. Instead, he's been cutting costs and moved to building in-house enduro powertrains to reduce its dependency on suppliers. So that's positive for that outlook that right now have been thought-provoking for all of those naysayers of the stock. Right now, there is not there is really nothing that may pop some burning questions about the Rivian's future, and that's what we can find. Is that overall state is fine, but let's have a look at another type of data. Right here you can find that Rivian automotive chart in terms of free cash flow is has improved back in Q2. Still, we have the data yet to come out in this update from Visual Stock, so I didn't deliver it for you. But when it comes to other things, such as adjusted net loss, that was a 1.13 billion or $1.19 per share. So that's a 24% what I found narrowing from the year ago period, and that result beat the adjusted loss of 1.33 per share that Wall Street had projected. So we have many things. That's what I mentioned. Adjusted loss per share as get improved. Cash used in operations narrowed 36%, and Rivian used 877 million in cash running its operations, leading to a capex being I meant EBITDA dropping a bit lower. So it's something that may start a kind of a reminder for all of those bulls, but still we are, despite all of this, are performing pretty well. So we have many cash on the sidelines. That's around 9 billion in cash equivalents and short-term investments at quarter, and Rivian ended the quarter with 9.13 billion in cash, and that means that absolutely that's something that we shouldn't worry about in terms of at least the next 2024 that is right knocking at our door. So there is something that I wanted to just point out is this price to sales ratio that's also scaring away many of the investors that's still wondering about joining the party and investing in this EV car maker. The current PS is at 5x, over 5x, and it means that right now many of those that are having a little bit more cautious approach may have a head scratcher right here, but with those expectations to come supposedly in 2024, it will just jump over right here, and 2025 right here what we can find is that revenue will supposedly even double in terms of next 12 months and possibly triple within next 2 years. So it means that analysts right now are betting for EV industry to thrive very very substantially, and that's nothing really alarming to see right here. In terms of the valuation, analysts still finding the room to thrive. However, it's still a little bit more shy in relation to what particularly Tesla presents. Supposedly it's boiling down to the expectations about AI. We do know that Tesla has a better background of this possible AI development. The Rivian stock is the one that may also boost itself in this field, but still we need to have a have a justification for that. All right, so we are right now jumping to updates regarding vans that have been let out by Rivian. That Amazon, the prominent company of Amazon, one of the largest company in the world, finds an acknowledgement. The Rivian finds an acknowledgement from that AWS company, and is right now operating around with 10,000 Rivian electric delivery vehicles. And what Amazon says that it aims for even 100,000 electric delivery vans by 2030. So it's a large market to expand for the name of revenue, better revenue of the Rivian stock. So we can find that Amazon, which holds a stake in Rivian, has completed a 260 million deliveries with Rivian vans, and this Seattle-based company is also working with Volvo to add heavy-duty electric trucks to its middle-mile delivery fleet. But right now, the Rivian is the one that will be the biggest supplier of the vans in that terms. When it comes to bonds issuance, many of naysayers are been just pointing at the finger into this quintessential to them point that this bonds issuance that has been provided back in October, was it October or September? So around 1 month ago, was the harbinger of something bad going on underneath the structure. Right now, however, the RJ strengthens out that bond issuance safeguards against future borrowing costs, and it's nothing to worry about. So even though we may say that Rivian faces substantial cost challenges due to the complexity of their vehicles, resulting in significant losses per sales, at least as it was back in the beginning of 2023, right now it's these problems are kind of fading away, but those some financial hurdles, the company generates immense excitement and demand because their EVs offer exceptional performance and off-road, something rarely found in the automotive market. So that may eventually, those even temporary financial problems are not the real ball and chain for the company that is aiming for kind of such a revolutionary industry that are unachievable to many other companies, even in the US. So this bond issuance right now may eventually lead to some of a protective approach out of the RJ Scaringe, the CEO of the company. But right now, I do know that there are some suspicious type of a points about this move, but as RJ said, that this capital raise provides a financial buffer as the company embarks on meaningful investments to develop its smaller R2 vehicle family and ensuring that they maintain a healthy balance sheet. And that's what I would stick to that right now. So in terms of macro, as we do know, right now we are jumping to the valuation and finding possible entrance for the stock. This macro kind of a outlook is necessary to find out what's ahead, and in order to find the best I would say place to toss your investment coin into the stock. We need to find out what the macro outlook looks like, and in which phase of business cycle we currently are sitting at. So right now, if we just admit that we are in recovery phase with this GDP projections and this pause of interest rates, at least for now by Fed, we can find that we should have a time that may put in favor those companies with Rivian at the forefront. So if we just assume that Rivian stock is somewhere between the technological stock due to its AI advancement been developed, and if we just assume that that may be a real revolutionary decade for EV industry, turning more into this clean and renewable energy type of sources, with getting rid of those fossil fuels, we may have a real good time for the Rivian stock, and especially when betting on the fourth quarter of 2023. Right now we should have the positivity been observed, but for this one we need to study where we are sitting right now in terms of a chart. So where buyers are sitting and where you should be looking at when it comes to supposed investment opportunities. So right now we are jumping to interactive chart of Rivian and Rivian Automotive. Let me just find out on a daily, weekly. So it looks like we are right now just slowing down this downward pressure. We can find that RSI has exploded back in July. We had even up to 65 points on RSI on weekly, so it means that the buying pressure was outstanding right then. Right here we can find that we are just sliding down this from this kind of a high outstanding buyers zone, and with that being said, we can find that we are trying to build another rebound, another like of a springboard higher, with possibility to move it like that in the next quarter. So right now, as we are approaching very important demand zone with this congestion of blocks of orders, we may have a little kind of a little pause in the downward tendency right in the second half of November, but we should eventually have a kind of a bottoming process being launched, and with kind of a trajectory that I will just draw. That's what I expect, is this kind of a double a power before the next. Sorry, it looked like something has turned off, but right now we are back. So Rivian Automotive right now should be going through this bottoming process, and with that being said, we have a chance to move even up to $30 once again in the first quarter of next year, if those if the sentiment on the market will remain kind of a good. When it comes to current sentiment right now, we can find that is one that should put a stock valuation in an upward pressure, and we can find that this Fed's pulse is ripping through every industry. We can find that we are building a sentiment type of a bottom that may eventually lead us over 50 points, even up to 75, up to till the Santa Claus take place. So that will be very interesting to watch it, where we will eventually end up by the end of it. Yeah. So if you have any questions, as a reminder, let me know in the comments. I will just get back to your questions as soon as this broadcast lasts. So also, if you have enjoyed the content, you may just subscribe or like the channel. Thank you very much for your engagement. All right, so we are right here jumping back to our presentation, and what I just wanted to find out is this options chain, the maximum pain chart. That what we can find is that there is kind of a alliance in terms of where the maximum pain sits, and that's located at $16 on the chart. Let's find out once again what this $16 means to us. So right here with this $16 zone, if we just by any possibility will get a smash below the floor, we may have a real panic sell. So the $16 is the level that right now is trying to defend us from a larger sell-off. That's why that's very important of buyers to step in and relentlessly push the price higher. So that's critical announcement for those that are right now holding a position. If we just get through below the $14 below this very important order block structure, we may have a further sell-off. But right now I don't find anything that paints a grim picture, at least in a technical side of a positioning. So right here and right now we are jumping back to as a reminder, that was a open interest chart maturity at 17th of November. So that's where the third Friday of the month, that's where the biggest players are taking their positions at. All right, so final thoughts and Q&A. So it's important to know that right now that Rivian's path to profitability appears still long. The recent exit of Ford as an investor, though possibly a strategic move of the company, adds a layer of complexity to Rivian's financial narrative, while a pushing sale could alleviate some of Rivian's financial pressures. Such strategic decisions are intricate and multifaceted, with no guarantees to this. So in the EV landscape right now, the Rivian is standing still despite the headwinds, and what we can definitely find out is that this company is continuing to evolve with the demand of customers. Rivian, despite standing at a crossroads in terms of its profitability right now, we can find that Q3 earnings are looking like the company should be the right bet for this decade to hold it for longer, and those valuations right now may be still very low, despite to what we may trade it, with what valuation we may met ourselves at Rivian, especially in the second half of this decade. So I would say that the benefits of holding the Rivian's car maker are right now very worthily to highlight, and I would definitely stick to the buying opportunity of Rivian, especially after latest reports. So thank you very much for sticking around. If you have any other opinion or just some questions, you may pop it right below the video. Thank you very much for sticking around and have a great